Hey guys, next up in the workshop, we're gonna hunt for some mythical creatures. So I need a thumbs up or down. Hey guys, welcome back to the workshop. We are continuing to work on our wonderful, awesome mythic creature from Arena Rex, from the Arena Rex game. Now I've given you the description, and I don't know if you guys have figured it out yet, but it has the head and neck of a snake, the body of a leopard, the haunches of a lion, and the front forelegs of a hart, which is a type of deer. So I still want to see if you guys can figure it out. But I mean, he looks kind of weird. What do you think it could be? So we are just gonna continue on painting. There we go. All right, now we are actually going to start doing the main body. So we're going to start working on kind of these parts in here. And for that, I'm going to use a fairly tawny color. It's called Balar Brown. I like it. I think it looks pretty good. Yeah. However, the lid doesn't want to stay open, so we'll just kind of work around that as best as we can. We use our medium base brush because that gets results pretty quickly. Again, we're gonna put some onto the old palette here. Hit it with just a touch of water. Help it go on a little smoother. And then it's magic time. Okay. What I'm going to do is actually I'm going to leave a little bit of separation from where we did the lighter underbelly color to this color. So we're going to try and join them as seamlessly as I can. And we're going to see how that goes. But since I've never actually really painted a creature before, what a great time to expand my skills. Or at least, I like to think it is. Any chance you get to try and learn a new technique or a new way of doing things is always fantastic because it gives you a new tool in your toolbox to make your miniatures or whatever you're doing, whatever it is, that much better. So don't be afraid to take risks. Take some, see what you come up with. Maybe you find a way of blending your paints together, that nobody's thought of before. Then you've got a skill that you can go out and teach. And if there's one thing that I really like doing is I love teaching people how to at least beginner paint, maybe a few advanced techniques, but it's enough to get them going, and it's enough to so that they don't just sit there with a pile of unpainted miniatures. I mean, I have a ton, I mean a ton of unpainted miniatures from all kinds of different game systems that I will get to eventually. But for now, you just kind of sit in the wings. Some of them are partially built, some of them are partially painted, some of them, the boxes are open, some of them I haven't even taken the wrapping off of yet. And that's just kind of this is kind of how I hobby. Right? I always like the shiniest, newest, brightest thing. So I kind of go out and buy the newest, shiniest thing, and a lot of my other projects kind of, unfortunately, fall by the wayside. Now, those are my personal projects, not the projects that I do here for you guys on the show. Maybe I can have a segment of Paint Slinger's unfinished projects that he hasn't finished, and then maybe I can get some of my own stuff painted. A lot of it is a lot of it's Games Workshop stuff. I really like their miniatures. I mean, I also have a lot of games that I haven't painted their miniatures for yet that I would love to, and that's like the whole reason why I bought the game, other than thinking that the game might be cool to play. They have miniatures. Oh, well, you have my attention. What kind of miniatures do you have? And will they be fun to paint? But the ones that I do here on the show, they're a riot to paint. I love painting these guys, because I never know necessarily what game they're going to be from, or what the quality is going to be like. I let you and I discover that when I do the show. Makes it a little fun. Makes it, a little interactive kind of. So I'm spending a lot of time on this one side, trying to get it nice and, nice and solid. Then we're going to work on joining the colors together. So now we're going to go on to the other side. Whoosh, bing, and it's all brand new, all black, never been touched by this color of paint. But soon it will be. And I've actually really been enjoying the Arena Rex figures. They've been quite nice. And you know, if you happen to like gladiatorial-based games and kinds of stuff, you know, stuff like that, then this is definitely a game that you would want to check out. I would absolutely recommend it. It's super cool. You know, I'm gonna actually tell you guys a little secret. I am actually quite uh, uncomfortable with painting animal miniatures, because you know, what if I want to make it? You know, what if I want to paint a tiger, then have it look like a tiger? You know, but I don't get the coloring right, or I don't get the stripes right, or I don't. Uh, so it's been one of my biggest hurdles is starting to paint creatures. And here I am painting this big old beast. Well, some people say go big or go home, and I can't really think of. I mean, I'm sure there are larger creatures out there to paint, but I think he's I think it's kind of cool looking. Like the way that some kind of looks. It's an interesting critter. Again, I want to see if you guys can figure out what this mythical creature actually is, or at least based on. Yeah, I want to see if you guys can figure out what he or she is supposed to be. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm kind of going into the lighter spots where I painted the other color, but now I'm kind of going in with watered down. And I'm going to let that dry up. And I'm going to go back in with the original color. And I'm going to thin those down. I'm going to go back into this brown color, and I'm going to see if I can't help solidify and blend these two colors together. Hopefully getting something that'll look nice and together. We've got a couple of different colors and a couple of different points that need to be kind of blended together. Sometimes this is, this is what takes a lot of time on a miniature, especially if it's a larger miniature, is covering the surface, the large surfaces of one color. But don't let that get, don't let that get you down. Because when it's all said and done, it's going to look cool. It's going to look good. So you can kind of see how it's starting to come together. And yeah, we have, patches of fur up here. We'll deal with those later because we're going to actually paint those a completely different color. Which I've already got, which I've basically already got picked out for it. This thing's coming together nice and strong. Nice and good. Now it's just going over some of the trouble spots. The color is still a little thin. There we are. Now it's finding all the finicky little pieces. I don't have color yet. There we are. Alright, well, I'm just going to call that part done for now. And we're going to go on and try and blend in some of that undercolor. Let's see how we can make that happen. See if we can make that happen. That is still on my painting. Hadn't put it away yet. We are going to go to Which was this one again? This is my character brush. No, I want my regiment brush. So many brushes. But you will find that somehow you end up actually using all of them. So now we're going back to Zadri Dust, which was the color that I kind of did the belly and the the belly of the snake. Well, belly of the under the underneath what would be the belly of the snake, but what we're going to do is we're going to water this down. Just going to kind of fill out the spots. The two don't quite match up. We're just going to kind of fill it in. Make it a bit more of a solid color, at least in parts, and we're going to feather it out into that other brown. And then we can now fill in any spots we may have missed initially. Making a nice thicker color. And again, kind of work it into that brown. And kind of keep working it. Fill it in. Do the same back up under the snake head. And a little bit more of a solid color. What I find real interesting about this critter, other, other than just being a weird creature all on its own, it has the head of a snake, but the tongue is not bifurcated. I find that kind of interesting. Doesn't have a split tongue, is basically is what I'm saying, is, you know, as most snakes do. Oh, yeah. Just something to think about. Nope, I missed some parts. That's okay. Painting miniatures, if you miss parts, you just go back in with the other color and fix up those parts that you missed. No, no real problem. No, this fellow's starting to look good. There we are. It's getting there. At least I think it's getting there. I like how it's turning out. And we still have a ways to go with this guy. And we are well on the way. Okay. There we are. Now, what I am going to do is take one of my favorite shades, a Graxer shade. Use this big old brush. And we are going to give this critter a bath. But basically, I want to be able to see the muscle definition of this thing. What better way to pull out the muscle definition than to set some something a little darker in the recesses of all the muscle. So you can actually start to see how powerful this beast is. Right. And there we are. Now, find a way to put this down. There we are. Now we just let that dry. And it's that time of day again. It's time for us to say goodbye. But I'll be here in the workshop, so you come back and join me when you're ready. So in the meantime, stay safe, be safe, but most of all, paint safe. Until next time, we'll see you soon.